Just making a quick little video because I was watching a YouTube video and it reminded me. If you're going to try to label the second coming of Jesus as the antichrist, don't have a giant checklist of proof and evidence of all the psychological abuse and manipulation that you've been doing that proves that you're trying to groom a good person and trying to make them a bad person. And then try to label that person a bad person. Because all that shit does is just further proves that I am exactly who I say I am. Because you don't go that hard unless it's someone of importance. You don't go that big, that hard. You don't make a whole government program trying to go against the Jesus. Fucking flies, get out of here. And all these flies and stuff. See, what people don't understand is that magic is real, okay? You heard the phrase, a fly on the wall. If you're sitting somewhere and suddenly out of nowhere a fly shows up and you're like, there's no maggots, there's nothing, there's no rotting meat anywhere, that's magic, okay? Because if you watched Game of Thrones and you know about wargs and stuff like that, these flies are like little spies, okay? Sounds weird, sounds crazy, but believe it or not, even the CIA knows that magic is real. So that'll slowly start coming out eventually with all the CIA files being come out, along with all the Epstein files and all that stuff. Because it's a satanic cult doing satanic rituals, manifesting all kinds of evil stuff. And these flies are proof that, you know, they're doing some stuff. All right? Signs of like death magic and stuff, of like they're trying to make it look like you're a rotting corpse or something, trying to all that stuff. There's signs of like, you know, nefarious magic being done. And also, yeah, more proof that I am in fact the second coming of Jesus Christ himself returned in the flesh. I'm just Gnostic, that's it. That's the only real difference aside from all the biblical stuff, is that the second coming is Gnostic. That's it. All right, which is a lot more about the inner, okay? This is why the side of your head is called the temple, all right? The church, the kingdom of heaven, and the church is in you. See, it's getting my nose, specifically going for my nose, because it's saying on the nose, okay? These flies, they're bugging me. Notice how they're doing that when I'm trying to record. They could not be bothering me all day, be sitting around the bench and on the table, and all of a sudden they start going right after my face when I'm trying to record. Okay, that's people possessing and controlling animals and using them as like spiritual spies, which is how they work with that stuff, which is how they can keep tabs on you everywhere. All right, because think of like Odin, he used ravens and crows. So that's when you see a bunch of flies and there's no, you know, maggots or rotting meat or trash or anything, where you're like, where are all these flies coming from? That's magic work being done.